Awesome. So today we're starting our new series, ladies. I think I saw Brittany come in. Hey, we're starting our new series, and that is going to be focusing on turning clicks to clients. I have built my business online. I have built it through social media, through word of mouth, through doing events at least quarterly. And so we're going to dive into what it looks like to really convert clients. And so before I get started, you're going to have a copy of this marketing guide that you can go back to, download, and fill out. But I'm going to walk through it, and then you can watch the replay as you're filling it out yourself, because the ultimate goal is for you to really be prepared for your next campaign. And I love that one of my coaching clients on here, who was my nonprofit coach in the program, one of the nonprofit coaches in the program I was a part of, and now is a part of CEO Chick. Sharice is on from 297 Group. She's amazing. If you're looking for a nonprofit coach and just someone to consult you in that space, she is the bomb. But I'm so happy she's on here because we are actually preparing to do some great content together, and it's going to be phenomenal. We're working on her campaign and getting better at sharing who she is, what she does, the problem that she solves. And so it's so good to see people that are hungry. That's all I'm gonna say. There we have over 100 members, and the attendance, it baffles me, just to be honest. It baffles me sometimes how attendance can be so low when it comes to education, because that is what's important. Wealth is on the other side of what you do not know. My people perish for a lack of what? Knowledge, wisdom, insight, know how. Like, and so I've always been a teacher. I've always been just so obsessed with learning, because I recognize that my own ignorance and is what will get in my way, right? And so education is so important to me. And what we're going to talk about today is going to be just how to market, how to campaign. What are some of the things that you can do to convert more people using social media when you're at events? I did a class years ago around the time that I first started CEO Chicks. And just to give you a little backstory, when I originally started CEO Chicks, again, it was just online community. It was focusing on entrepreneurship. Our first name, if you will, was Get It Girls, which is so cheesy. But it was about getting whatever, right? Get your bag, get God, get what you need, right? Which is a powerful statement, to look at somebody and say, get what you need. Right? Do you want to be made whole? Do you believe that you can be healed? Get up, walk. Like it was just a direct get it, right? And it was doing really well. And I shared this story online the other day, how the name came about, because sometimes we can really obsess. Hold on, I want y'all to see me real good. We can sometimes obsess about the name of a thing. We can sometimes be like, just stuck in, what should I call this product, or what should I call this service, or what should I call this course, or what should I, right? We can kind of get stuck there. Whereas you can really just start doing the work, and it will begin to come to you. There's such an organic process in building an audience by just having the conversations with people, not necessarily putting a name up there and then having to change it because that's not it, right? Because you're just really trying to get ahead of yourself. So you can start community with a general name, right? You can start community with just a focus on what you want to talk about, and build that community and build around that conversation. And the name can come later. And that's what happened for us, right? I just was like, listen, we all about getting God, getting our bag, getting our relationships together, all of that. The group is still up, unless I can't remember what I did to it, because it started to get a lot of spam. But so I just rebranded the name, if you will, to CEO Chicks after I was at an event, and I bought a T-shirt from Toccoa. If those of you that are local to Orlando, Toccoa Piori is an amazing just coach consultant. She's a VP at Pace Center for Girls, National Pace Center for Girls, and she and I were sharing the stage. This is like 8 years ago, and we're sharing this the stage at this event. And I purchased a shirt from her that said Miss CEO. And I remember I was with one of my mentees at the time, was assisting me at the event. Her name is Sade. And I said, Sade, I said, I wish it said CEO chick because that's like who I am. Like I'm like real just I'm just different. So I wish it said CEO chick, like not a focus on my whether I'm married, single, that sort of thing. And she said, make it. And I did. Sold it to my community, it sold out. Bought another batch, it sold out. People kept saying, what is it? And I'm like, why are they asking me what is it? It's a shirt. Like, buy the shirt, folks, in this Get It Girl group. And literally, after the third person said, what is it? The Holy Spirit was like, hello, like, hello, I'm trying to tell you something, right? Like, pay attention to those clues. And so I did a poll in the group and I was like, man, does this more resonate with you than our current name? And so that's how the name change came about. And then I just really began to dig into what is the definition of a CEO chick? Like, this is prior to even really saying, okay, I'm going to do the change. I just started to dive in. I started to do research. I started to see if the name was available via trademark. I just started to do all of those things. And here we are, it came about. But having the just sometimes we could be a very like perfectionist. Honestly, we could be perfectionists, and we could be so super hard on ourselves, and so it hinders us from doing the work, feeling like it's incomplete. Right? If I'm getting ahead of myself, if you will, and it can feel like that. But the truth of the matter is entrepreneurship, marketing, and I have a class where I say this all the time, marketing is sort of like online dating. And the reason why someone would select you or click on you and follow you and then watch you and then say, I want to do business with you is because of your brand. And so, with that, let me just explain the difference between branding. My definition of branding is focusing around the spirit or the essence of an organization, a person. It's the thing that's felt, not seen. Okay. So that is what branding is. And then from that place, your brand assets are created. And so, where I spend a lot of time with my clients, where I spend a lot of time when I'm teaching you guys and CEO chicks and in the classes and courses over the years has not changed because it is a principle and it's not going away. The brand is predicated on your core beliefs. It is what you believe, right? What you believe this product stands for, what you believe this service stands for, what you believe this community stands for. And that's it. The kids nowadays be like, I'm standing on business. Well, what does that mean, right? Well, it's really being able to define who you are. If I could break open, your I call it smashing your brand. And if I can just look at your brand and I can look at all your assets, all the things that represent your brand, it should be congruent. There should be harmony that's there. The conversations that you're having on your page, the people you invite to your platform, all of these things should be congruent. That's branding. Marketing, again, marketing is now taking those brand assets and then you begin to communicate. Marketing is simply communicating the problem you solve, the solution you bring to the marketplace. And the more creative you are with marketing, then the more likely people will engage, right, in a conversation. What did I say? Marketing is like online dating. And so, because marketing is like online dating, your brand voice, your brand message will be the determination or be the factor that determines whether or not they do business with you, whether or not they click or go to your site or follow or subscribe, so on and so forth. I had set up for on Instagram for a subscriber $2.99 a month just for the heck of it, and then noticed I started getting deposits, and I was like, "What is this from?" Like, I didn't even have content specific to the subscribers. People were subscribing to my channel and just doing little whatever that donation subscribe little fee is. But what an honor, right? For someone to say, man, I like her content enough that I'm going to subscribe to the page and give her what she's asking for. Okay, so that's marketing. And what that marketing did is turned into sales. Sales is a different lane. They all work together. Branding is not marketing. Marketing is not sales, but baby, they are cousins. They in a relationship and they all work together. And so marketing should turn into sales, hence the name of this, class, turning clicks to clients, because what you want ultimately is for your marketing to bring people into your sales funnel. And your sales funnel is really the thing that says, hey, get this for free, or grab this for $1, or join, download this, or come to my email list and I'm going to give you more. You know what I mean? And so the minute someone gets into your funnel, it gives you an opportunity to continue to date them. It gives you an opportunity to continue to give value. Let them know what it's like to do business with you. Let them know what it's like to experience you. And so that is what is going to be the game changer. And then you have to present an opportunity for them to buy, right? I do not like, yeah, do not like when entrepreneurs say, I hate sales. If you hate sales, you hate entrepreneurship. But I understand what they're really saying is they don't want to be manipulative, is really what they're saying. You may have experienced the type of salesperson that is pushy. You may have experienced the type of salesperson that just says yes. Yep, I could do it. Yep, I got you. Yep, yep, we'll be there. We're gonna remodel and do everything in 2 weeks, and it's been 2 years, and your house ain't remodeled yet, right? You might have experienced disappointment, and that sort of thing. But at the end of the day, when it comes to, I want you to start saying, I love sales. In fact, can you just write that in the chat? Like, I love sales. Because, baby, you need money. You need money, coins. Like, you got bills, okay? You got responsibilities. You have trips you need to make. You have deals you need to do. I want you to say, I love sales. Like, period. Because those sales, we can look at, what do they say? The numbers don't lie, right? So those numbers are indicative of seeing people that are saying, yes, I need what you have to offer. You need that in your business. The numbers matter and sales matter. And in fact, it's like you can look through all of these various things. If it's not making sales, let me look at my marketing. All right. Marketing, imagine you looking at your KPIs, your key performance indicators on your marketing campaign, and you're looking at it, and we're going to talk about that in more depth. But you're looking at your campaign, you're looking at your posts, and you can see people are engaging or not engaging. So then you can make adjustments there, right? Or you can go back and look at your overall branding, your voice, your aesthetic, your logo. Like, is it clear? Are people confused? Because when people are confused, they do nothing. So the more clear you are with your brand, the more you begin to see the shift, the change, the people responding and reacting to your social media posts and campaigns, right? So any questions about that? Brands, marketing, sales, right? Now we're clear on the difference. Give me a thumbs up if you are clear about the difference between branding, marketing, and sales. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. I see them, I see them. Hey, Leandra. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, Peter Gay. Hey, Tanya. See, you guys came in. I just hit admit. All right, so let me share my screen. And again, this is going to be in the back end of, zoom in so I can get my option to share screen. This is going to be in the back end of your class for you to download and do this with your team, someone that even may be, you just need, oh man, it is like, I know sometimes we're doing it all ourselves. Take your time if you are, and we can always go over it. I believe in this course towards the end, I left opportunity for us to engage with this, right? For you to walk out with a plan and we can talk about it. But if you have someone else creative on your team, again, if you want to hire me for a pick your brain, you can. We can go deeper in specifically to your brand, okay? And so if you want that, just let me know in the chat. But ultimately, this is the way that I go through what I'm going to come up with when it comes to my social media, right? In a nutshell. All right. So first part is understanding a SWOT analysis. We just have to understand what our strengths are, what our weaknesses are, right? What opportunities we have, what threats do we have? We've seen this quite a bit when it comes overall to our even business plan, right? We hear about this SWOT analysis all the time. And not in addition to SWOT analysis, we hear about a strat plan, your strategic plan, which is more of a short term, how quarter to quarter, year by year, how are you getting closer to your overall overarching goal of your business, what you want to accomplish, right? And so some of the strengths here at CEO Chicks is that we give education. We don't hold back. There's no gatekeeping here. I share pretty much everything. It is it's very interesting to me how many times people, can you mentor me? Can you mentor me? Join the network. I give it by the book. like like it's all there, right? And so ultimately, those are strengths. Like we have fruit. We have women that have gone from 5 to 6 to 7 figures right here, utilizing these tools and the information, right? What are some of our weaknesses? We may not have enough events, right? People love our events. We do it once a quarter. Some weaknesses, we have not had any corporate sponsorships. Everything is done by us. The main sponsor is my for-profit business, AKA moi, right? So that's considered a weakness, right? Like what happens if I can no longer be the financier? What happens to CEO Chicks? This is full transparency. I want you to be that daggone honest with yourself and with your business. Well, what are the opportunities? Opportunities are, again, sponsorship opportunities, apparently, because we have great reach, we have great exposure. So there are plenty of opportunities for additional sponsorship. What are some of the threats? Now, women empowerment, quote unquote, has kind of gotten a bad rep, if you will, because it's like everybody popped up with a girls empowerment things since 2016. They come and they go, but guess what? We're still here 8 years later. So I want you to look through and just really be like, what's your SWOT analysis? I want you to go to the chat and I want you to type what's one of your weaknesses and one of your strengths. I want you to just type it in the chat. What's one of your strengths? What is one of your weaknesses? And just be that honest with yourself. That is so super important, that you understand exactly where you are, right? And then from here, it's like, based on that, I'll get to that next phase, but just use the chat. And I want you to just kind of take a moment and write down what's one of your strengths and one of your weaknesses. Let's just write that out. And I want to see what you guys come up with. And I'll use CEO Chicks as an example to just kind of let you know how it can tie into what we're going to do on social media and in marketing in general. I'm going to the chat. 9 years of experience, weakness, small team. Yeah, that is so challenging. And so, Rebecca, are we referring to the event business? You have all that experience, you have a smaller team. So when you take on certain clients, certain budgets, most of your money goes to subcontractors, right? Like, gosh darn it. See what I'm saying? I'm right there with you. I get it. I get it. So, and what happens when you have subcontractors? The subcontractors are going to charge more, right, than it will if you had a W-9. Is it W-9, W-2 employee? Correct, babe? It's W-2 or 9? Yeah. So W-2 employee, right? So, but then what if you don't have enough business to sustain a W-2 employee, right? So here we go. What do we have to do to fill that gap, right? Cherise said knowledge and credibility in nonprofit circles. Networking. She needs more networking. She needs leads. She needs more reach. This is so good. So yeah, these are the tough questions. You got to sit down and look at yourself and say, I'm good at this. Over here is where I need help, right? 15 years of experience, Brittany says, wealth and knowledge. My weakness, dependable, reliable, and team. She needs team member. Everything falls on her, right? So now what happens? Burnout. We know as visionaries, if we're doing everything, right? The burnout is real because we are human. Okay. You listen, I people tell me I need to do this. I get so many opinions because people love the brand and they truly do. And it comes from a beautiful place. But they like you need to be at more events more so that you can get more sponsorship opportunity. Everybody has different advice, that they give in regards to certain things. And I just am like, I'm gonna pray about that. But in the meantime, let me begin. I'm such a ambivert in the sense that I love my thinking time. I love to strategize. I love to understand things, but not to the point of paralysis, right? To the point where I'm not doing anything. Um, but yeah, people love to share opinions, but don't want to get in the weeds and work. That's the truth. And let me tell you how I got rid of that. Then if someone suggested something, I'd be like, great, can you come up with a plan for action plan for that? I love that idea. And then they start to get more and more quiet in meetings. Uh, all right, y'all get it. You guys get it. Strength. Jet says, I have the creative side, the ability to have an idea and execute. But the weakness is I don't know how to create and edit my own content, right? So now we know the solution to that is you have to have enough capital to hire someone, right? That is a very real thing. And so now, based on most of what you guys are saying here, how does that tie into marketing? How does that tie into what you want to share with your audience? And so this is the happy place for any entrepreneur is to find the sweet spot of how you serve, right? Being a solution to someone else, but knowing that that transaction is also a solution for you, right? So we are match made in heaven, honestly, right? Remember, marketing is like dating. And so now when we connect, that's where you get terms like my ideal client or my customer avatar. And the more you do it, the more you begin to understand who your audience is, who is that ideal person that's a fit for your business. We have low hanging fruit, we have high cost, right? Like a high end, if you will. In most businesses, there's something that people can just grab. For example, for me, it's my book. It is anything under like $30, right? Freaks. We have a $27 download that I did on Chat GPT. And what I did in I just made everyone has to purchase that one. That one's not free even to students, to CEO Chick students. You have to purchase it. It's $27. We have my book. It's $20. Low hanging fruit, right? We have other downloads, $8, $13, different things like that. That's out there. But then we have other products, right? I have other products that go into the thousands of dollars. So a Pick My Brain, $297. Sometimes I did a sale for the first time in April just to see how it was because of inflation and the economy, and it did really well. My goal was to have 10 people click that button in the month of April, and I had 12 people that took advantage of that. What else? So I'm just giving you ideas of different things that we put out there, and just try within my stories, social posts, stuff like that. All right. So again, how do you take what you said? I see you, Leandra. I see your answer. How do we take that issue and come up with a marketing plan? Again, I'm going to go back to what I said about CEO Chicks, sponsorship opportunities, more events, more touch points, things of that nature. And so what we have done is, okay, let's do smaller meetups and let's just, no cost, free members, let's just get together and let's see how it does, right? So we put together a few emails notices, I think also in text messages and in stories or something like that, that just was like, hey, CEO chicks, we're going to do a girls' night out at one of my favorite places, which was the Acre in Orlando. So we did a small, light situation online for that, right? Why? Because women want to get together more. But here it goes, over 20 people registered, and out of the 20 people, I think I only like 5 or 6 showed up, if that. So I'm like, okay. So sometimes people say, how many of you experienced this? When is the next one? Yes, do the class, I'll buy it. Yes, do it, I'll be there. And then what happens? They don't do it. Right? That's a real thing. So it's like people say they want this and that, but do they really? Right? And so those are the things that I have to make an executive decision on. Like, okay, people will say they want certain things, but they are, for some reason, they don't feel compelled to do it. They don't feel compelled to show up, right? And then I have to go back to the drawing board with my team and say, okay, so what is it that they want? Okay, these types of things. All right. Um, so let's see about creating a campaign. Do I need to look at the marketing and have a stronger, compelling, you know, caption or sales copy that lets women know the importance of community and lets them know the importance of showing up even in those settings, right? Those more intimate settings. All right, so there now can turn into another campaign. Another thing I talked about in my SWOT analysis is the sponsorships, opportunities for other companies to become sponsors and to really get behind supporting women in business. Okay, I can create some sort of campaign around that, or again, I can pitch it to my network at large. All my following, all my email lists, all my text lists, all of any little groups that I have, begin to just have conversations about the importance of supporting women in business. Why is it important to support women in business? What happens when you don't support women in business? You can come from those different avenues. You can create a campaign that makes people cry. Okay, you can create something that makes them laugh about women in business. You can create, so now you see the thought process from your SWOT analysis. You come back and say, okay, let's see what we can create to solve for this thing. All right. And so that helps quite a bit. I hope that helps. We'll keep your questions in mind, right? So then those become goals and objectives. And so you just start to brain dump all of these things here. Again, this is going to be in the back end for you to download and begin to write on. But this is the goal. The marketing goal is to create content that brings brand awareness to our nonprofit organization, how we're impacting, how they can partner with us, how they can donate, all of those various things, right? And then you begin to list out your objectives. Okay. I want to educate more people about CEO Chicks, right? I want to highlight more of our members, what they've learned and the benchmarks that they've come, achievements based on the content that they have here. So then that makes sense, right? Okay, it's 10:05. I want to give room for questions. Who are you targeting? Pretty straightforward. Who are you targeting with the campaign? So one campaign, I'm looking for donor to increase donor support, right? So that I'm targeting other women, I'm targeting men who want to support their women, like begin to kind of walk through who needs what you have, right? Wealthy people that have money that they need to get rid of at the end of the year, right? Establish your core message. What are some of the taglines? What will your elevator pitch be, if you will? If you had to give an elevator pitch for this specific campaign, what would it be? Right? Just think about that for a second. So let's, again, using CEO Chicks as an example for this campaign, which I need to go ahead and do and just make it like a real case study. for you all, because I've never like just done this on our page. I've done other things, but never just like specifically to talk to a potential donor, or sponsor, however you want to put it. Let's see, what could my elevator pitch be, or taglines for this? One of the stats that I absolutely love about supporting women in business is just that when a woman in business, the statistics show that when she's successful, that it brings success and she helps out way more people than men do. Women tend to give the most, right? And so that could be something that I focus on, and it's just the impact on the community when a woman has a successful business. Um, I could focus on that, the lives that are changed just because of her. Um, who knows, stuff like that. What is the budget? If I'm doing any print work, if I'm going to be sending out mailers still work. If I'm going to be using contractors, some of you talked about that, having to use people to support, which is very common, by the way. We are not supposed to be doing it all on our own. But we also cannot, and I'll say this again, cannot just eliminate that real raw conversation, going live, sharing, raw moments. Like that still works. So again, don't get into that everything has to be perfect. Everything has to be perfect, right? One of the things on my page, there's always going to be a combination of professionally done content and just reels I made myself, right? And so that is definitely important for you to understand. Um, don't get stuck trying to be a perfectionist, right? Don't compare your new business to this established business. Let that be goals for you, but don't let it be something that hinders you because it's not exactly like that, or it's not as, okay? Don't do that to yourself. It's progress over perfection. Next, the really break down the marketing channels that you're going to use. So whether that is Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, whether you're focusing on LinkedIn to reach out to other execs and professionals, like really just think through each of the marketing channels and adjust your message accordingly, okay, to each of those channels. Then there's metrics. You want to look at how things are performing. What are your analytics like? If you do like a live online? What's the participation like? If you do a event or a pop up, same thing. What is it like? What are the sales like? What the audience? Did you hit your goal? Is it fitting that ideal audience that you had in mind? Open rates. These are all ways to be able to measure the success of your campaigns, right? It's a numbers game. Here's something I see often too. You post something once a week and you don't get a response. Okay. Listen, I put up a post. I gave the team, my VAs, a post from Mr. Beast, which all my kids pretty much follows. He's one of the number one YouTubers, right? And he's a creative. Like he creates content that will really blow your mind, but it's heartfelt because he's doing a lot of the giving, right? He's somebody doing all this giving and impacting lives and all this stuff and showcasing the changes that he's making. Well, long story short, he talked about the first 100 videos that he created getting absolutely nothing, and that people come to him and they're like, I'm posting and I'm not getting the traction, I'm not getting the views. And he's like, all right, well, how many videos have you created? And they're like, oh, I did 20. Oh, I did 30. Oh, I did 50. Oh, he was like, don't talk to me until you cross 100 videos. And I just love that he said that, because we can really begin to think like, as far as YouTube long form content, right? That it didn't work. I've been posting for a year and it didn't work. Like, no, you got to just keep going. I have been online for over 8 years consistently with my brand message of freedom, financial freedom through entrepreneurship. If I had to put my life into one like tagline, if you will, across all of my platforms, it's freedom through entrepreneurship and it's faith. Period. Like that's who I am. That's who you're going to get. Period. Right? Whatever. It just is. That's what I'm going to talk about. Um it's just who I am, y'all. Okay. Now, what I added here are additional tips, resources. My chat GPT prompts are freaking amazing. It from email list prompts to social media prompts. You get those things and start applying it. It's just helping you build out a more specific roadmap for your own brand and your own audience. One of the other things I added is a national calendar, right? So that you can see if there are month to month certain things, causes that are in alignment with your brand that you can begin to tag or share, because one of the things that our community and culture does love, and you'll see, is brand responsibility, brands that have an outreach just component to it. So I look at, see what other nonprofits there are that you can get behind. Shoot, you can use CEO Chicks. We are a nonprofit. You're here. You have a business. It is something that you can absolutely share as well. When you're at an event, when you're in the class, you can share and make people aware, especially during Women's History Month or Entrepreneurship Month, stuff like that. Below is going to be a link with it has this right here. Let me know if you can see it. It's just a spreadsheet that you can actually use. And with this spreadsheet, you can just begin to chart out the platforms. You can edit this and you can put in the platforms you're using, when you're going to be posting as far as date and then time, what type of content are you going to be using, where is it going to be going, what is it going to be saying, what hashtags. And I absolutely love this because you get into the habit of creating batch content, it makes it easier for you to give that task to someone else, right? I know it's a whole nother animal. Sometimes it's a whole nother beast. I get it, but it's so worth it, right? We're in a space right now where social media management, which is different from a social media marketer, by the way, where that is a whole job, right? And so until then, you can begin to start creating processes so that when you do have the finances to bring someone on board, you have a process in place. You have a way where you can say yay or nay to certain things and they can post for you. I where did I put that repurpose IO? I'm gonna drop this in the chat right here because this link right here, hold on, let me grab it. This is what I use. It's called Repurpose IO. I used to use Buffer and Hootsuite to schedule my post. But one of the things that I noticed is that when I use a scheduler, it didn't perform as well. I had a meeting with Meta like a month or two ago because they wanted to do some research. And so they saw my page and they said, we want to talk to you about cross posting. We want to understand how you're using the platform and then answer any questions that you have. And so in that conversation, we probably were on like 45 minutes to an hour. And during that conversation, when we were talking about using cross posting, I mentioned that I use Repurpose IO and told them why. So let me tell you, Repurpose IO, I can post to Instagram manually, and that manual can be scheduled through the app, right? Because Instagram has it where you can schedule your reels through the app. So I will schedule the reel or post it manually onto my page. And Repurpose.io takes that and distributes it to the other platforms. So it's going to distribute it to YouTube Shorts. It's going to distribute it to TikTok. It's going to distribute it to my LinkedIn, to all of these various platforms. I also will say I stopped adding background music because of all the issues with TikTok and universal music rights and all. I didn't want to get into all the shenanigans, because what happens is if you have a song that a platform no longer has the rights to use, it mutes the entire video. So I just stopped using music in the background. And unbeknownst to me, people still are watching it. And I'm like, well, praise the Lord. Like, they want this information. And so I didn't have to use trending sounds. I tell people use trending sounds. I'm just letting you know what happened for me. And so Repurpose.io, not only does it distribute it to the channels that you select, it also takes a piece of content, this is my favorite part, and houses it in a Google Drive. Okay. So now everything that you post, it goes into a Google Drive, and it houses the content. You can always pull it later if needed and you want to repost it. Absolutely love it. My team loves it. The only time we see like a post fails is something got flagged. Usually when a post fails, if I did use music, and that's usually what it's surrounding. If it was like a trending, there was, I can't remember. It happens. We just keep moving. Okay, we just keep it moving. Um, so yeah, I hope that helps. What else did I put here? Okay, recommended social post frequency. Again, this link is going to be in the back end of the school. When you go in and you watch the replay, it's going to be right under it so that you can download it and begin to fill these things out and come up with a plan. All right. It's 10:18. Let's go into questions. Raise your hands if you have any questions. Yeah, raise your hand if you have any questions. One of the number one things I love telling my clients is to write down a list, an inexhaustible list of things that you can talk about. Like just all the things you can share as it pertains to being a CEO, building your brand, building your business, and then the thing, right? The thing you do, right? That the problem you solve. I just definitely want you to know that you have so much in you. Another client that I have, same thing. She did that work, but she is super camera shy, right? We did a content day recently. She's not a CEO chick. We did a content day recently, and it took a while. It took a while for the mojo to flow, and I was like, okay. So now I see what are some things I'm going to have to do to help her be her best on camera. Honestly, ladies, sometimes it just takes hiring the right person, and that's it. And she, so not only is she working with me, she's working with uh um yeah. What is it? A speaker. What do you call it? Public speaking. She's doing public speaking stuff, classes, coaching. So she's just working on that, right? Not because she gets in her head and she says something and then she'll try to correct it, or because she feel like she didn't say it right when she did. And I'm like, girl, that was brilliant. What you just said was awesome. I need you to stop second guessing yourself. All right. So questions, raise your hands. I will unmute you all. Let's see where we are. Let me come out the shared screen. Da, 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 da. Nobody hands raised. Nobody has any questions, comments. You guys ready to go? You're going to take the information, apply it, do your thing. Rebecca, do you recommend TikTok still? I do. But expand. You can actually use Repurpose.io in that way. And I heard about Rebecca, Jay Walkers. They're the ones that put me on. Tiffany and Allie put me on to Repurpose.io. They use it. So TikTok would be where you would when you get into your own account, if TikTok is where you are, like your primary focus, like mine's is Instagram, but if your primary focus is TikTok, then what you want to do is have your repurpose IO start with TikTok, and that's where you post, and it repurposes everything on the other feeds, right? But yeah, until they finalize that TikTok will no longer be in America, just keep using it. It's is what it is. Any other questions? If not, I can go be great, and you guys go be great. And this is it. Let me go back to the chat. Make sure I'm not missing anything. It's 10:21. Straightforward information. You're welcome, Rebecca. No questions? Okay. Y'all good? I'm so used to talking to like conversation. All right, what are you gonna do differently based on this class? Put that in the chat or unmute yourself. What are you going to do differently?
Hey, everybody. This is
Hello.
Leandra.
Hey, girl.
So, for me, I guess what I would do differently is kind of stay consistent with my posting the content. Like, I have a ton of content in my phone or whatnot, but it's just staying consistent with posting it. And I think if I do that, that will just help me to show up on social media to get the engagement, to get the clicks, to get the likes. And it just shows that I'm putting in the effort of getting the information out there, of, just showing up. So yeah, I would say just being consistent with my content.
Yeah, but what about the type of content? Like, because the bait determines the catch. You see what I'm saying? So
that is true. I think what I notice is I get more engagement when I show the actually doing the work that I do.
yeah.
And so I think with doing more reels, showing more videos of me actually doing what I do, what I say I do, I think that causes more engagement.
It will. It will.
Yeah.
Can you tell them what you do?
Yeah. So I am a nurse practitioner. I'm a certified lymphedema therapist. I'm a mobile practitioner. So I go out to my clients. I do lymphedema therapy as well as post-op care and body contouring. I also do IV hydration and telehealth. So I do a lot of things, but I am I really focus with lymphedema patients and post-op care.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, it when you start to look at measure your success of your post, and you just recognize like, this is what people want. Give them more of that, right? So that's good. Real good. Don't just now I get it, right? Sometimes we just are like stupid social media. Let me just throw this up. But I want you to be more strategic, right? I want you, even if it's like, okay, here's something that people sometimes also overthink. I'm like, okay, if you had a post that did good last year, post it again. You had a post that did good over 90 days ago, post it again. Especially if you're just like, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. I haven't created anything. Like, post those again and begin to be more just strategic with creating content that brings you business. And that's it. Like, I have just hit a sweet spot where I recognize education. Just keep teaching, Coleen. Keep teaching. People don't care about what I ate. They don't care about the plate of food I have. They don't really care what trips I'm on. What is in it? Social media is about them, not me. your social media page, especially if you offer a service and you're not trying to be a influencer, right? The influencer that just travels all over the place and lives this lavish life. And those pages are their goal. They're doing that because their goal is to attract certain brands and brand deals. Most of us, we're B2B, we're B2C, so we got to just get to the point of what we do and how we can impact your life with our products and services. So yeah, don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. Sometimes we are on social media and we feel like, oh, it's supposed to be this major gorgeous aesthetic and luxury and lifestyle, and your people don't care about none of that. Your people don't care about none of that. They want to know, what am I going to learn? For me, what am I going to learn when I come to your page? What can I get for free? That's just the fact of the matter, and it's my job to then convert them. Okay. Rebecca said, stop overthinking content. I know what my ideal customer is and posting for them. This includes posting more on Instagram, LinkedIn, where more professionals are. That's good. Anybody else? It is 10:27, 3 minutes. Anybody else? Comment, aha moments, what you're going to do differently, what you're looking forward to trying. Talk to me, please. Should I call y'all out? Peter Gay.
Okay, don't call me out. Don't call me out. See, I knew it. Good morning, everyone. So, with my new career, I am like trying to figure out how to slowly pivot into it, but I feel like I'm doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that, because my page currently was just my lifestyle, because I had my other business page. So now I'm trying to redirect them to my new career. And so yeah, give me your advice and your tips.
So transitioning your audience from now, just so you guys know, Peter Gay main thing was beauty. So she was fashion. And you're still doing quintessential boutique, right?
Yeah, not as much because I don't have the bandwidth, but it's still available.
Yeah. And so she's transitioned from New York to Houston, sold her salon, and still has her boutique that she's phasing out, right? And focusing on real estate. So for her, I think it is for you, Peter Gay. I think you're still showcasing some of those things that your clients did like, but now you're having to build a new audience, right?
Yeah.
So because of that, you have to expect, and here's just the harsh reality. When you're moving from one thing to another, you're gonna lose people.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen. Why? Because you're no longer really offering the thing that brought them to your page, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can still, one thing about real estate, you can still maintain lifestyle, right? But I think you're doing a good job because you're showcasing properties, you're visiting different places in Houston. So still showcasing those restaurants, the different communities, the price points, videos that do super well with the Houston market that constantly show up in my feed are showcasing what you can get for this amount of money. So you can get this type of property for this amount of money. You can get this type of property in this community for this amount of money. I'm here in this community, and in this community, you can just start educating about the different areas in Houston. One of the things that I find so interesting, though, about the Houston housing market is that it's not in Houston.
It's not. Absolutely not. And that's the thing that's happening is that the ones they showcase, truth be told, they're like way out where no one wants to live.
And
So,
so you could be that person that busts that bubble by grabbing videos that are already trending. If I were you, there's one called Nava Realty. A lot of Christian realtors too and brokers in Houston, but in the Houston area. But anyhow, I think it'll probably come up on my phone and I'll send it to you. They have some of the greatest videos, right? Because real estate videos are also a thing. But I would repurpose their videos and
Mm-hmm.
maybe do a green screen style where you're in front of it. Like, this is amazing. Oh my goodness, have you guys seen this? It's gone viral. Let me tell you where it's at. This
Okay.
property. So I would start to look at what's trending with housing videos in that market and put my spin on it, stitch it, do stuff like that to pull people to your page.
Okay. Because I created a new page. Do you recommend that too? I created a new page for just homes.
Yeah, which is fine, but where your people are, you're
Yeah.
likely going to start to, so that should be in your bio, right? The ones that are just going to talk about homes, but on your page, it's going to,
Mm-hmm.
it should still be lifestyle and properties, right? And then
Yeah.
those people that want that, you still got to funnel them through your page. And then you can collaborate with the new page, right?
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm. Okay.
that's going to be helpful too, to kind of get people that want just housing over there.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna give it a shot, Colleen. You know, I struggle a little bit. As much as I'm, like you say, ambivert, like I'm just like, I'm not doing this, you know, but I'm gonna get it together.
Yep, I think you should try that. Try that trending. Find some trending videos that already have been, recorded in
Yeah.
a beautiful way. Like,
Okay.
yeah, the housing that people love. I don't know the term of the style or the construction style of the houses that are trending right now. But I would just go hard with those, giving feedback, sharing, stuff like that.
Okay.
And just keep going out to different communities, seeing what's in the area and educating people about it so that you're the first person they think of if they're going to be in that area, because Houston market is growing so fast. It's one of the
Oh
number
my
one.
God. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's one of the top three, along with where we or I don't know if it's our Tampa. Sorry, along with Tampa, I saw it was like top three of people migrating from California.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much. And thank you, ladies who commented also. Hello. You said feel free to connect. I'm available. I love to chat. So
Yeah,
not
put your
online, but
handle. Put your handle. That's Brittany. Put your handle um in the chat there. 10:34. Thank you all so much. Yes, Sharice, go ahead and do that. Thanks, Leandra. Yep, I would do that. Repurpose, look for what's trending in the nonprofit space, all about money. People like talking about money. Brittany, you can copy Peter Gay's social media right there and follow her and shoot her a DM. Look out for what's your handle, Brittany? You guys are in Houston, so definitely have to do something in Houston. Natalie, we're wrapping up. I saw I let you win, but go ahead and check out the replay. Really great class, just distinguishing the difference between branding, marketing, and sales. And there's a handout for you guys to log in, go to the class, clicks, just put clicks in the search bar. It should come up when you log in, and I'm about to add it right now so you can download it and get to work. The next class is going to be taught by our licensed psychotherapist because I wanted her to share the psychology behind sales. Like, it's science, guys. Imagine that, right? There is psychology to sales. We buy what we buy based on feeling and emotions most of the time. And so I just kind of want you all to understand that more and more when you're creating content and you're on stage and you're sharing your story or you're talking about what you do. I want you to learn how to do that in a compelling way. That's the word that I will use. In a compelling way that makes people want to connect with you and makes them just say, you know what, she's the person that's going to help me go to the next level in the area that, whatever you do. All right. awesome class. 10:36. We went over just a bit. Thanks for hanging in there with me and for sharing and engaging. I will see you all in the next class. All right. There you go. Grab best friend in faith. There you go, Peter Gay. You guys exchange information. Thank you. God bless.